Well, this is unfortunate. Now I've got the red light of doom on my 7.5 amp hour Ego battery. Is the honeymoon over? Let's find out. All right, here's what's happening. On my 7.5 amp hour battery, you can see I'm getting a red light. So I'm going to take the battery, put it on the rapid charger here, and you'll see I'll get momentarily a green 25%, and then it's going to show me that it's fully charged. So it should be fully charged because it's actually was on the charger for a good 24 hours at least, maybe several days actually before I try to use this. But I'm still getting a red light here, and that's an issue. But let's see how it behaves in the mower. So let me take this out. It's a little tricky to do with one hand. All right, still showing me red. Now I have had this where it was actually showing me green initially. Now it's only showing me red. Now let's see what happens when I fire it up. Kind of keep your eye on the status light right there. Immediate shutdown. So that's not good. Now this is potentially a major problem because these batteries are $350 if I have to buy it again brand new. But the good news is they are warranted for 3 full years, and I am 2 years and 2 months, or maybe 3 months into that warranty because this particular battery came with my Ego lawnmower. Now I did a video on some of the other Ego lawnmower and the lawn tools. I'll put a link to that up here. If you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. But up till that point, and actually up until just now, 10 days ago, I have not had any issues whatsoever that have required me to contact Ego's customer support department. And on that video, which has gotten a pretty fair number of views and a lot of comments, far and away, most of the comments are extremely positive about people's experience, their own experiences with their Ego products. But I have seen a couple of posts that have talked about complaining, saying, oh, well, you're not going to get any decent customer service. They won't even talk to you. Their customer service is worthless. So this was my opportunity to find out for myself what the Ego customer support experience was going to be like. So here's how it went down. I called their 800 number and I waited on hold with them for about 8 minutes, and I got through to a very kind customer support rep who then walked me through some basic troubleshooting. They had me put it on the charger to see how it behaved, and of course it behaved exactly like I showed you in the previous video clip. They had me try this in my other lawn tools, or at least the blower, to see if it behaved the same way in the blower as it did in the lawnmower. And of course it did. They wanted to make sure that it was in fact the battery and not a problem with the mower or the charger. That whole process from beginning to end with the customer service rep took about 18 minutes total. Now that includes the on-hold time. So I only spent about 10 minutes troubleshooting with tech support there at Ego before they confirmed their agreement that it was a battery issue. So they then processed a warranty claim, and I had to wait a whopping 8 days is all. That's not bad. And then this showed up. So this is actually the new version. This is the BT4200T, which has the enhanced, they call it fuel gauge. So basically it gives you more granular information feedback on the state of the charge. So on this guy, when you press the button, which is now red, you would, if you know under normal conditions when you see the red, you would know that you had 20% or less battery capacity, and that was it. And if it were green, you know that you had at least 20% or more, but you weren't sure if it was fully charged or only had, say, 25% battery capacity left. And that was kind of unfortunate. So Ego came out with, this is a 2nd gen battery, by the way. So Ego came out with this 3rd gen battery. As you can see, form factor wise, it's exactly the same. Both of these being 7.5 amp hour batteries. When you press this one, you get multiple LEDs. You get 5 LEDs, so increments of 20%. So now you can at least dial it into a 20% level of granularity to see what kind of charge you have on this battery, which is pretty nice. So it's very cool that they sent me this 3rd gen battery and not like a refurbed version of this guy. Now, they didn't ask me to send the old one back, which is cool, because that would have been a little bit inconvenient. And it does give me a chance to kind of mess around with it a little bit to see if I can do something to get that working again. And if I am successful in that, I'll report back and let you know. Now, this replacement battery that they sent me was manufactured in December of 2020. So it's about 6 months old, which isn't too bad for something that's been sitting on the shelf. So how would I rate my experience with Ego's customer support department? Basically, I would give them an A+. They made a reasonable attempt to ascertain the nature of the problem and make sure they weren't fixing a problem that didn't exist, or willing to fix a problem that I could avoid having to worry about, sending this back or getting a replacement, something that would get me up and running right away. They did, in very short order, confirm that my suspicion was correct. It's a battery problem, and they replaced it under the warranty. So I am very happy. I'll give them an A+ on this. Very happy with how this all turned out. So I will say that everybody's experience may not be the same as mine, but this was my experience. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Ego stepped up. I didn't have to beg for a new battery. I didn't have to complain or escalate. Got right into the first guy that I talked to, took care of my problem, and a week later, I'm up and running, and I've got a new 3rd gen battery to boot. So, great job, Ego Tech Support. Anyway, so that's been my experience. Hopefully that helps you. So at least now I've had some encounter with tech support, and I can at least speak to a limited experience that I have had. So anyway, thanks for joining me for this quick video. I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, have fun out there.